Okay, warm welcome from my side. My name is Cornell. I'm from Komax, Market Segment Manager for Industrial Business. I'm very happy to present you with two colleagues of mine the topic for the benefits for automated cabinet building. With me are Christian Dülme from Weidmüller and Hermann Nagel from Invent Hoffmann. So first, we would like to introduce you very quickly to the Smart Cabinet Building Alliance. What is the Alliance all about and what are we doing? And then we will look into the big benefits we can offer for this alliance and for our customer. So to start with, I would like to introduce Christian to give you an introduction on the Smart Cabinet Building. Christian, welcome.
Thanks for the introduction, Cornel, and also a warm welcome from my side. My name is Christian Dülme, and I'm the head of the product management for automated cabinet building at Weidmüller. So as Cornel said, we are here from our Smart Cabinet Building Initiative. And overall, in our Smart Cabinet Building Initiative, we have 5 partner companies. So we have Weidmüller, Komax, then additionally we have Zuken in the field of digital engineering, we have Armbruster Engineering in the field of assisted workstations, and Invent Hoffmann, where Hermann will also give you later more insights about. Now the question is, where is Smart Cabinet Building standing for? And therefore, we brought there our small video. And for sure, in such kind of an initiative, it's important that not only the technology works well together, also human needs to interact on a very smart and efficient way, which we see also here in the video. The starting point is the engineering, and we are convinced that you as a customer needs to invest a little bit more in the engineering, but then you can have a lot of different advantages all along the value chain. So, if you have questions, Achim Stier is also here on site at the booth, and he can explain to you how easy you can create a digital twin based on E3 series von Zuken. And then we can make use out of this information. For example, in the mechanical machining, where we have Invent Hoffmann, also with a mod center here at the booth, and they can show you how the mechanical machining can be done in an efficient way. Furthermore, we will show how we can use also the digital twin from Zuken, send it over, for example, to the Weidmüller configurator, to use this information additionally for fully automated assembly of terminal blocks on a rail as well as an automated marking. Here you can see our rail assembler machine, which is also standing on the booth, 48 magazines for the different components, and then the machine can do the job fully automated. Additionally, we have also a solution for handling the components that needs to be screwed. So for example, end brackets which needs to be screwed, or also additionally accessories like cross connectors, where we can also support the removing of several pins. This workstation is not here on the booth, but an additional, even bigger one you can find here as well. Then we have the rail laser for the automized marking. So after the rail assembler put all the terminals on the rail, after we added additional accessories with Armbruster, here the rail laser can do fully automized the marking. And I think for those of you who already did terminal block marking by their own, they are knowing that this automation is really a game changer compared to the manual operation. Then we have also inside our Smart Cabinet Building for sure wire processing, and there we are having 2 different use cases. So one use case is the Omega machine, which you can see right now in the video behind me, and there we go even one step further and have also kind of pre-wiring, and additionally for sure also the traditional wire processing with the Zeta machine is also something which we support as well. At the end, we need to bring all the things together on the mounting plate, and therefore we have again an assisted workstation from Armbruster. This is also standing just on the booth, where we're supporting the mounting of cable ducts, DIN rails, as well as the wiring itself, again with a solution out of the Zuken E3 basket. Overall, the beauty of Smart Cabinet Building is that we can support your entire process from digital integration until wiring, and that on different levels. So manual, semi-automated, fully automated, according to your needs, and with solutions that are already tested in practice. And we are totally convinced that this solution is really something that helps you. Why? Because more than ever before, you have several hurdles like rising cost pressures, like lack of workers, and a lot of additional things. And maybe even in the last 2 years, it goes from there up to there. So I think if you want to really a winner out of these hurdles, then from our point of view, automation and digitalization is really key for being a successor inside the new cabinet building world. And which advantages you can have will be now explained by Hermann. So Hermann.
Thank you very much, Christian. Good morning. My name is Hermann Nagel from Steinhauer. I'm in charge with sales and with our products which we show here on the Komax Wire Pro Expo. So the digital twin, what you see in the center of the drawing, the digital twin is helping you and enables you as a fully truth to bring your project into the digital world and into the possibility of a high number of machine solutions. The advantage you have is that you once create your drawing, and with this drawing on this base, it is possible to run the production and optimizing very, very much all your processes in the field. Where today we very often see and we know that everything is coming from a paper-driven drawing or file, and it is not possible to do a repetitive work very easily from this base. Manually implements that you very often have human failures. If you're running digital, if you're running with machine, you limitate to very less failures and you can get them off, so you only do them once. Last but not least, and this is a very, very big advantage, you can get a purely sequential work from today to a more parallel work in the future. What you see here a little bit is that while you're using a digital twin and digital information, you are allowing to run parallel with machinery a very automated process. And the typical status quo for very many of our customers is one step after the other. With machinery, it is an achievable target that it is parallel. With parallel means you limit the workers, the number of workers, and the lack of workers becoming significantly better. In the consequence, if you're looking into the mechanical machining, this is what we show here, the Mod Center from Invent Hoffman. You save up to 80% of your time. And not only there, component marketing, you save 90%, assembly 50%, wiring process up to 80%. The cost saving, the workload saving is phenomenal, and today it's very easily reachable because all the components, including the digital twin, including the software, is available in the market, and it is very much proved. Looking into a cost comparison, if you're looking into a wall mount, you are in automated business. A wall mount classically, if it's 800 by 400 millimeter, it's about 170, 180 euros to process, to modify, just the modification. With a machine tool including cost, like you see it here on the Wire Pro Expo, it is about 24 euros. The saving you have is paying for the machine, improving your business, speeding up all your processes, and enables you to be significantly more competitive. If you look to the machine tools, what you see, very often they're looking expensive. You say you can't afford. If we take it serious, the Mod Center from Invent Hoffman we show here is creating a very good win in money from 3 people onwards. If your workshop in total has 3 craftsmen, it's also possible to run a machine like this ongoing with very good results for your budgets. And with this, I give it back to Christian, and thank you for your attention.
Yeah, so thanks Hermann for showing us already the possible savings in the mechanical machining. I want to show you a little bit more about component marking and maybe you are a little bit afraid, hey, 90%, where does it come from? So I just brought here with me a little bit the traditional way how marking is done right now. So at the beginning, editing the print image and then in the labeling software. Then you have there several marking cards. You need to pick them, you need to put them in the printer needs to print, and then normally most of you have there a dedicated printing guy, and after that there is a handover of the already printed markings or markers over to the guy who is doing also the wiring. He needs to view again the product data, then he needs to search for the required marker, he needs to separate the marker, he needs to put it on the terminal, this crazy little thing, and maybe in the end he needs to do also a visual inspection. So how we can come to the result of savings up to 90% with the ray laser? Because with the ray laser, it's only job selection, insertion, start marking process, and the rest of the job is really done fully automized. One aspect which is quite important is that inside this calculation, we are using terminal blocks, so-called DL version, where we have already pre-assembled blank markers on it. So you even need to take care of the marking or marker handling overall. And additionally, also during the time when the machine is doing the automated marking process, you have free time, so additionally free time, for doing secondary activities like cross-connector assembly or anything else. And for me, it's really important to underline that the ray laser is more than just another printer. Because, for example, inside this machine, we have then image processing, and we can use this image processing also for a dynamic quality inspection. So here we have some missing markers, the machine recognizes, and we even guide the operator where we have something recognized, where we have a mismatch. And please remember, as already introduced by Hermann at the beginning, if you have the digital twin, we are also able to use all of this automation equipment for lot size 1. So also in our ray laser, there is no one who needs to teach in the image processing. We have already all information available from the digital twin, and that is really a game changer compared to the traditional working processes, and I'm totally sure that no one of you have already right now an automatic quality inspection for lot size 1 implemented in your cabinet building. So some time comparison, for example, if you have there a long DIN rail with roughly, I would say, 200 terminals, 700 markers, then from our estimation and from our own expertise, for the manual process, including all the process steps shown on the slide before, we are roughly coming from 80 minutes. With the ray laser, we're talking about roughly 12 minutes. And out of these 12 minutes, you have nearly the full time additionally as a free time for secondary activities. Same for the medium one in the middle, and also for the short, simple one. So you see, for example, for the long one, we are talking about nearly 85% time savings, for the middle one, 83%, and even for the short one, more than 70%. So as said by Hermann, we are aware that a lot of you may be afraid. You see these technology, you see the machine, and you see the investments, but please believe us, the return on investment is much easier to achieve than estimate. And I think that is also something which is totally true for the wire processing, and which savings are there possible, Cornel Dura will present to you. So thanks from my side.
Thank you. Yes, certainly in wire processing we look actually into quite similar numbers, but first maybe look at the timings. Well, actually, where do we spend the time in the wire processing? So first of all, when you do everything manually, what we can see here on top, we spend only almost more than 1 minute in average for reading the printed schematic diagram. Imagine you have a pile of 200 pages of diagram you have to skim through, and this really takes a lot of time and is error prone. Once you have the right connection found, we spend quite some time for the stripping and crimping and probably even the marking. And in the end, of course, we do the laying of the wires. This can take up to 4.5 minutes for each wire. Now, when we turn everything into an automatic processing, we actually have to invest some more time into the data preparation in order to have really proper data available for the automated processing. But the processing is then actually done in a nutshell, and in the end we spend less time in wiring because we have ready prepared bundles in the assembly optimized order, which will make the wiring even simpler. And so when looking at the numbers, for lot size 1, we look actually into roughly 1.5 minutes in the end to process one wire in average. And when we have repeated processing series production, we can reduce this even further below 1 minute because the data preparation is of course done only once. So in total, what we see on the right diagram, the big amount what's spent in wiring for the total cabinet building can be reduced significantly, somewhere between 50 and up to 80%. This is time-wise, so how does it look money-wise? As we can see here on the left, actually the amount spent in a year for building cabinets can be reduced almost by half, but this depends, of course, a lot on the numbers we have. In here, we just did a sample calculation where we calculated for labor cost about 35 euros with 120,000 wires produced per year, which is still a quite lower number, and a depreciation period for 10 years. And this calculation shows that you can reach the return on investment just slightly above 2 years. And so even with this medium-sized numbers in production, we can very easily achieve a very attractive return on investment. But of course, here we always have to check exactly your situation, calculate your exact numbers, and really to see what will your return on investment look like. One very good option to even optimize this is leasing. We as well offer attractive leasing, and this will not push you into investments. You just have monthly and yearly fees, and actually this, because you can reduce the time spent and the money spent in the production, can be reduced from day one onwards. Okay, so that was wire processing. Last example we would like to look into is the assisted assembly. Here we have just one example, and this actually split now into two parts. It's not always just money we can calculate, it's as well errors. So in this example on the left side, that's from a commercial vehicle producer. This producer was able to reduce the errors done during the assembly by 97% over the 2 years, where they gained experience, improved the whole process, and really put this system in place. So from far above 500 errors, they could reduce in the end to 15 errors only. On the other hand, the personal cost reduction. Because with this assisted assembly system, you don't need experts to assemble your products. We have a very good guided system, for example, pick by light system that will exactly tell the operator what to do. And with this, you don't need skilled workers anymore. You can just make use of production helper, which costs less, and this will reduce your investment again. And so this can drop the yearly cost at about 15,000 euros per year for one assembly desk. And so as well, this is very attractive, both on the money side, but of course as well on the quality side, reducing errors, which will reduce the effort in the end again to fix the whole setup. Okay, that's now enough about financial benefits. Now we look into one other aspect, as well, and this is shortage of skilled workers. I'm sure all of you have heard about this, but most of you face this topic as well. So this is in the news all over. When you Google for skilled workers, for labor shortage, you get a hit of about 133 million hits in Google, so that's a topic which is really all over. It's significant. Maybe one or two numbers here. In Germany, for example, forecasts estimate that in the next 40 years, the number of workers will drop by minimum 10% in the best scenario, but they might drop even by 25%. So when we are short on workers today, the situation will even become worse and worse over the next decades. Or another example in the US, last year in autumn, there was a study that there were actually 4 million more open jobs than job seekers in the US. So this shows again, it's very difficult to find trained people, good people, and with automation we can really help to reduce this problem. As well, with automation, we look into more attractive jobs. So really the experts, they will concentrate more on data preparation, which is more attractive, especially for the younger generation to come. And we can much easier keep the young people, motivate them to really do great jobs with digital data preparation. The production itself is then mostly done automatically, and the final assembly can be done then by helpers, because everything is nicely prepared, nicely labeled. This is actually quite easy then to train a person to do this final assembly. And overall, it's a benefit for all, so for you as a company and for the workers as well to have a more attractive job. But very important, we are convinced that this automation actually does not rationalize the jobs for skilled workers. They really look into more attractive, more interesting jobs. You still need them, and with this new system, you can grow, you expand your business, and actually need desperately the skilled workers to do the data preparation to gain more output. Okay, that's about the benefits. A quick summary. In the beginning we saw the challenges we look into as cabinet builders, and here now we can see the benefits actually for these topics. We can really announce clear objectives, benefits, what we can gain. So we have lower production cost, we have a good and consistent quality because it's done automatically. Then we have shorter production times. We have an efficiency down to batch size 1 because the data preparation is really optimized as well for batch sizes 1. We are much more flexible with the short production times. We gain as well flexibility. We have optimally deployed skilled workers that really have attractive jobs. Due to the digital twin, which controls our full production, we have a very accurate documentation as well. And last but not least, we are much more reliable in the planning because of the shorter production times and the accurate documentation. We become much more accurate, and for example, the reworks will be reduced a lot, which will make it much more easy to really calculate the delivery time of our products. So that's our summary. That's all a bit theoretical, of course. We are looking forward now to welcome you on our booth. So after passing the market hall and the museum, we are just on the left please come along. We are very happy to introduce you to our products, to show you exactly how these products could help you to improve your production, to really revolutionize your production setup.